So
Oh my
let me
gosh.
see
I'm
if I
sorry.
can catch up. No, that's okay.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. So the floor is yours. Go right ahead then. Continue on. Tell us more.
So okay, so I don't know if you heard about the fact that the boxer had lost the competition.
Yes, no, you said the first we went in, he didn't win at first. He didn't win that competition.
Right.
All right.
Right. So I didn't know, and I realized I assessed myself and I said, okay, instead of stepping back, you know, or sitting in the back because, you know, I was told, you know, Leiza, maybe you should hide because so much attention had come on me as the first one in the sport, and then the boxer lost the fight. And I said, you know, like, I don't know defeat.
Yes.
And
good.
even if we do get defeated and we fall down, we have to be able to get back up.
Yes.
So
good.
I chose an amateur fighter because, as I said, you know, amateur fighters are, for those who don't know, that's a stage before you reach a professional fighter.
Okay.
And I decided to start with an amateur who is Kemal Russell. And he has
potential
from the beginning, you know, made me extremely proud. He became a light heavyweight champion for Jamaica as an amateur under my management.
Yes.
And he is also here with me now, the top boxer that I have right now.
Good. What's the name of your...
that has come out of Jamaica? Kemal, the Hitman Russell.
Good. And what's the name of your management company?
It's KNRG Management Limited.
KNRG Management. All right. Wonderful. So he's the top guy. And how is he? Is he a wonderful person, a gentleman? Even though he's a boxer, is Mr. Russell a gentleman and a scholar, I should say?
Can I tell you that Kemal is a gentleman?
Nice.
He surprises me sometimes because if you don't know him in the ring, you would not know, apart from his physical structure, that he's a strong person.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Very soft, very kind, always laughing. Laugh a little bit too much for me sometimes.
Oh.
You know, even when it's time to get serious, you know.
Okay. Gotcha.
And yes, but that's exactly what he's a very, very kind, very, very sweet personality.
Good.
Has a lot of he has all of the attributes that make up a world champion in terms of his discipline and his work etiquette.
Good.
He is top of the line. And, you know, he's basically been my motivation to keep this company going because I've had many, many fighters in my camp.
Okay.
Right?
Didn't know
I've
that.
had all of the best boxers that have come out of Jamaica in the last decade.
Nice.
In my camp.
Wow.
And, you know, fighters go in and fighters come out because they don't keep up, you know, because boxing is a very, very, very tough sport to be involved in. The training, the preparation, it's no joke.
Yes.
It takes a hell of a person to get, to keep going. And Kemal is the only one that I've seen never take a break or never shut down in the entire 6 years that I've managed him.
Incredible. Kemal the Hitman Russell. You know, incredible. And you signed a 3-year contract with him, with Real Deal Boxing. Is that for this year? You signed a deal also with him, working with him?
Yeah, well, we signed a deal with Real Deal Boxing. That's Evander Holyfield's Real Deal Boxing.
Okay.
That's just recent.
Okay, great.
This year.
Great.
So we expect to see some fights and some good things coming out of that. He fought on their show on September the 9th of this year, and he attained the WBC Junior NABF title.
Nice.
Which would be a heck of a springboard for his career right now.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Forget it. And then take off after that happened.
Yes.
What a great thing. No. So, you are I have to ask you, you said before you get into the boxing, you are doing catering. What's the name of your catering company?
Well, the catering company was named after my mother, who is Denver, and it's Denver's dream because it was the other thing that she wanted to do outside of her service to the Lord through her music.
Yes.
And being a pastor.
Yes.
So you know, but she also was a fantastic cook, and she could bake very well.
Wow.
And 2 months prior to her death, she was sick for about 9 months. So 2 months prior to her finding out about her brain tumor that she had, she invested in starting a little baking project.
Okay.
Which she wanted to have a business out of it, and she was never able to even start it.
And
so at her funeral,
yes,
you know, they did say that, you know, her children somebody should carry the baton for her.
Yes.
We all played the piano.
Yes.
But I was never the one to love playing the piano as much as my little sister. So I chose to just take up the baking part of it, and I ran with that one.
That's great. As again, for myself personally, I had got a chance to be taught by your mother in prep school. And and she was a no-nonsense lady when it comes to music, you know. No playing around, take it serious, that kind of a thing. And even though I don't play piano well anymore, I love music because of her. And I pursued my musical career in sound engineering. So that's how I got a chance to work with, you know, Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson and those people when I got to America. Because I went to sound engineering school to do all that, you know. So it's the humble beginnings like that, you know. Somebody to push you, inspire you, which your moms did. Mrs. Keane was a great lady. We don't give her no trouble. Highly respected. Everybody love her. You know. I know she have you guys as your immediate kids. You know, but if you look on it, she really had about 2,000 kids more.
I'm telling you.
I'm telling you, we'll fight for her, fight to the death to her, man. Nobody mess with Mrs. Keane. We walk her to our car. We walk her. Trust me, we don't give her no trouble. You know. So love and respect. Love and respect goes out to Mrs. Keane. And of course, Mr. Keane, Elder David Keane, is your dad, founder of Church of the Rock and the David Keane Foundation. His foundation still does great things to help the people of Jamaica. Are you part of that foundation? Are you helping that foundation in your spare time?
My elder sister, Julian, she's primarily the child of David Keane, who is involved in that.
Okay.
I mean, she has all the support of her other siblings, but she's really, you know, along with some close friends of my father, on the board of that foundation.
Good.
So no, I'm not directly involved, but we support her and that mission very, very much.
Excellent. As I say, respected. I had experience of seeing the Sunshine Singers, and it's just a beautiful time growing up in Jamaica at the time, you know, and your family was the catalyst for a lot of young folks to be spiritually grounded. You know, we did not know times were going to get terrible. You know, people might say, okay, earthquakes and the killing and the crime. People are like, nah, that's not going to happen, and then it started happening. You know,
right?
But I am pretty sure we are in sync with you in anything that you do. If you want to call our station and you have a show to promote or boxing event or whatever, we are here for you. We see you're doing great works, and congratulations on that article. Again, that was the article that opened my eyes. I said, I really got to try to get Leiza to interview with us, you know. But everything is good with you. Otherwise, how is your family doing? Everybody else?
Great. You know, everybody else is doing their thing.
Good. Okay.
You know, stepping into their purpose, and you know, we're all supporting each other.
Good.
That's how it is.
So one more question. Let me ask you. Okay, so the hitman, Mr. Russell, does he come to New York sometimes to visit, or is he strictly in Jamaica?
No, kept based in New York.
Okay.
So we're here in New York, and yes, we visit home quite a bit.
Good.
But he's really based in New York. It's where he's training and most of his fights would be out of the US.
Okay.
It's a very tough thing to do because I believe that he would be the only international athlete of Jamaica who has absolutely no financial support.
None? What?
From corporate Jamaica.
No.
Or any other organization.
So
it's a tough thing to do.
Yes, that's tough.
Yes.
And you're doing everything. You're making it happen for him. Yes. So if he has a fight in, say, Singapore, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
A big title fight. You're the one that's taking care of the plane ticket, the hotel rooms, and all that stuff, transportation to get him to fight. Hopefully he does well. Get him back home, do the promo, do the social media, do the TV, radio ads. Everything kind of falls on you then.
Yeah, pretty much. Some of the things in terms of, let's say, the fight itself.
Yes.
The promotional company would facilitate, travel, like the ticket to go to the event itself.
Okay.
But that's the smallest part to me.
Mm-hmm.
It really is the smallest part because that happens, let's say, for a promoter, they will have you fight maybe 3 times per year under their contract. And that would just mean to facilitate some plane tickets and, pay the purse on those 3 occasions.
Mm-hmm.
But the bigger part, the bigger picture is what the fighter has to do every single day to prepare for those fights. He has to live in New York. He doesn't work here. We're Jamaicans. So we have to take on the rent. We have to... boxing preparation, I think boxing is one of the most expensive sports because, it requires the gear that you have to have personally for yourself.
Yes.
And the nutrition
yes.
is,
gosh.
they have to make weight and be strong.
Mm-hmm.
And
the footwear... the things that goes in the mouth. Oh my goodness! What about the cut doctor, like the medical guy? Do you need to have that guy on your staff?
Definitely, that's our responsibility, and and cuts don't happen just in fights; they happen in training every single day.
Didn't think of that. You're right.
Because so and they the wear and tear on their bodies physically. We have to upkeep the fighter. It's a very, very expensive journey that we have taken, but because of the positive results, it keeps us going. But as I've told many before, it's sometimes it's heart-rendering what we have to go through, and we are looking for the support because Kemal is right there.
Yes.
He's pretty much next to a world title.
Yes.
And just a few steps away from that. And these steps from from him attaining the last title to the world title is going to be the more expensive part of the journey. And it has already been a lot on us from before.
Okay.
So, I have faith. But at the same time, in reality, we do, wonder how it is going to be done at this stage.
Right. Wow.
But, we continue to pray and ask God to open the doors.
Yes.
For us and give us favor where we need it. And hopefully something will happen, But it's something that we do need the support. I have reached out to many. I think just recently, a lot of people just started to really know what the story was behind Kemal, but and myself. But I'm just realizing as well that usually athletes that are competing internationally always have some form of financial support from some organization or the other. Okay. And to date, we have not gotten that support. For 1 year,
man, yes,
during his reign as the Real Navy Contender Champion, when we first got here to our first year in New York, I cannot leave this part out. Real Nephew did come on board and support us with a third of the budget for that year.
Okay.
But they can't go outside of that term in terms of helping Kemal, the term of his reign.
Okay. Okay. So only they came in and they took care of 1/3. So what about other companies? Let's argument's sake, in Jamaica, they have the Beacon Ice Cream Cone Company. They got Air Jamaica. Well, not Air Jamaica anymore, but let's say other companies like that. I'm surprised that nobody else has jumped in, and can we, are you willing to set up if they wanted to contact you? What would be a good email they can contact you and say, listen, okay, we hear your story. We'd love to help. Would you put your email out there?
Yes. The email that we would put that I have out there is my management company's email, which is K.
Yes.
N.
Mm-hmm.
As in Nancy.
Yes.
R. G. Management, the whole word, management. Ltd. Short for limited, at gmail.com. So that's KNRG Management Ltd at gmail.com.
Excellent. All right. And as I say, we see the good work that you're doing, and we just, as I say, I'm so glad to be able to reach out to you, and I've known your family for many years, as a teen growing up. So you have a good spirit, you have a clean heart, you're a hard worker, and we are very, very proud of you. And I'm telling you, I just can't believe how amazing how God works,
Yeah.
Because it's wild is like I can close my eyes and I can still see your mom at the piano teaching us for a choir, like a performance. And she's playing, and she's like, oh, okay, singing this key, and she's playing the keyboards, the piano. But to think that you and Julie were there also, but young little kids in the back, like maybe 2 rows in the chapel or where we were practicing, But our lives are not going to intertwine. It doesn't intertwine then. It eventually is going to intertwine maybe 30 years from now, 25 years from now, whatever. And here we are now. We're running a little radio station here in New York, and you're there in New York, and you're doing your boxing management. And I'm like, wait, we gotta link, man. We gotta see if we can help each other, push you, and let everybody know. My uncle Monty Blake of Meritone, he is sponsored by, of course, Appleton Rum and those guys, the whole Meritone crew. I don't see why they couldn't invest, into your management company, KNRG Management. I don't see why they cannot be part of that whole boxing, realm, investing in you. You're managing it anyway, right? So you just need a little financing to push yourself, because if Mr. Russell takes off, the hitman takes off, forget it. You're gonna be all over the place. That's gonna be a lot of finances coming out of you, and we don't want that. We want to be able to know you have some sort of backative, behind you. Yeah. I'll gracefully mention it to my Uncle Monty, to tell him, hey, can we get her a sponsor for upcoming events. I'm pretty sure it's good to have the funds in your bank. So, hey, I've booked 2 tickets. I got to be here. I got to be there. I got to be at ESPN. I got to be in California. I agree. It must be one of the most expensive sports out there, because we don't think of it like that,
Yeah, and there's a lot more we could do to speed the process up for Kemal. Because, he's been at this stage a long time ago. A long time ago, about 2 years ago, in terms of attaining that title. But, a lot of times because of finances, we have to wait on situations. And to be very frank, a lot of times we are taken advantage of because of not being able to have the funding that we need to do what we need to do with the thing. And, I can only work with what I've had. And as I said, the only thing that has been encouraging along the way is that when I look at the little that I had, or the nothing that I had, and created this, that inspires me to keep going. You know, but, Dean, as I tell you, there are many days when I say, wow, can we go any further? But then you think to yourself, how can you go back at this point in time?
Yes.
You know, how do you go back? But then you're still wondering how to go forward.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So, yeah, it's very difficult, and even more difficult now than then.
Okay.
You know?
Boy. All right. What about and you gladly accept American sponsors too, to help you?
Oh, definitely, absolutely.
Okay. All right. All right. We're gonna see what we can do on our end, because there's just a lot of folks out here who have the financial capabilities of helping you, and you should not be struggling in terms of getting your boxers out there like that, you know, because if they're so good, they're gonna win, and it's gonna be better for you and your team, you know what I mean? So it's just a matter of, everybody else do it, why not you, you know what I mean? So we gotta help and rally for you and push you. All right, so you have any fights, any of your fighters has anything coming up this month or for the rest of the year right now? Anything coming up?
Well, was scheduled to be on first November 18 fight, which was cancelled, and we're right now in negotiation for the December fight, which I'm not certain that that's going to happen, but he's definitely on to defend, to have his first title defense.
Yes.
In Jamaica.
Okay.
Around the first week of February. That's a definite fight, but right now we were depending on the activity in December, because the boxer has to have the activity because it's his only form of income.
Correct.
And that's what sustains him.
Yes.
To get to train and do whatever he has to do. So when that's the disappointment. If you have substantial backing, right, you can wait on the promoters to give you the fight, you know, but you depend more on fighting now because it's your only source of income. So when we get disappointed, let's say with, you know, these activity fights in the you know, from every 2 months,
yes,
when we don't have a fight coming up, then we start wondering how it's gonna go. You know, because as a management company, I've never in the 6 years been able to take anything from my fighters, because it is always reinvested into the fighter, because the income is not even an eighth of the expenses at this stage. You know, there's a time when the tables turn, but they haven't fixed us yet, and you know, we don't know how we do it. That's why I know that the God that I serve is definitely shows his face, because, you know, so many times my best friend, he is also another director of the management company. And, you know, I would call her sometimes and say, wow, this is happening, don't know how this is going to be done. And he will say to me, Leiza, remember when you had this situation and you said you didn't know how it was going to be done? And right? So, you know, we don't see how it's going to happen, but by you know, some way things work itself out, but it doesn't mean that it's not difficult. And a lot of the times, you know, we have to be put in situations where we are taken advantage of because of needing the support or needing the help or not being able to do it the best way because of the lack of finances to do what we need to do.
Wow.
Right.
Well, we are so happy that, you know, we are able to talk to you and you took time out of your busy schedule. I just wanted to tell the audience again, Tdsr Radio, we were pleased to have boxing manager Leiza Mae Keane. I did that right? And she took time out of her schedule to call us. She is manager of a great boxer. His name is Kamal Hitman Russell. Is that right, Kamal? And he is not only a great guy, you know, but a hard worker. And he just signed a 3-year contract with Real Deal Boxing, which is Evander Holyfield's camp, but it all happened through Miss Keane's tutelage. She was able to make it happen. All right, so she is the real deal, and we appreciate her so much. And is there anybody you like to say hello to or big shout out to?
What I to my people at home, so I miss very, very much. You know, my family, I can't wait to get back home. You know, the struggle is real over here, and we, you know, lots of times, you know, we get stuck in our situation over here. We can't make it back home.
Yeah.
So, you know, yes, you know, and just all of everybody who, my biggest shout out goes out to the people who have a dream.
Yes.
And, you know, they think that they don't have much, you know, but it's just focus and keep the faith. And, you know, by the power of God, you will get there.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. I mean, I tell you, you are an inspiration to a lot of the young ladies right now. Not only Jamaica, but even here in the US, you know, people see how you started, you know. I said, wow, you know, if she can do it, I know I can do something good too. By working hard, studying, looking at great examples such as yourself, and said, listen, you know, she's putting it out there. You're leaving it at such a level that anybody come after you have to come to a higher level. You know what I mean? So, and this is, you know, it's funny. I was watching Shark Tank yesterday, one of his business shows, and a young lady developed something for little girls to study computer coding, how to know coding, but she did it where it's going through like a laptop and a little toy, and the little kids were driving the little toy, but they programmed the toy to drive. They programmed the toy to turn around and to stop, and to see people doing things like that, helping little girls to say, hey, I can code, you know, I can be a boxing manager, you know. I can be a top athlete. I can be an astronaut. You know, just think about it. Years from now, you maybe have a Jamaican astronaut team going out into the moon. You know, so we got to think on such a high level for the kids today. You know, and what you're doing is excellent. And again, we're going to turn our attention to all the companies that I know. I'm going to ask them, check out. I'm going to send them your newspaper article. I'm going to send the email to them and say,